Hello everybody, welcome to Silence Abounds Science at Home, where we will discover home lab magic. We will perform experiments demonstrating scientific principles, concepts, and reactions in chemistry, biology, microbiology, microscopy, and even forensic science. Welcome to my channel. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. In today's experiment, we're going to look at a decomposition reaction. If you saw my previous video, we looked at a very important chemical reaction, and that was a composition reaction in which we had two separate products, iron and sulfur, and they combined to form a new compound, iron sulfide. Today is going to be the reverse. We're going to look at a decomposition reaction in which a single compound, a single reactant, decomposes to form two new products. A decomposition reaction is a chemical reaction with a single reactant that forms two or more products and goes by the formula AB equals A plus B. A decomposition reaction forms small molecules, often including pure elements. Decomposition reactions are generally endothermic because breaking of chemical bonds requires an input of energy. There are different types of decomposition reaction. For example, thermal decomposition. Thermolysis happens when heat chemically breaks down a compound. Then you have photodecomposition or photolysis, and this happens when light chemically breaks down a compound. And another example is electrolysis. Electrolysis is where electricity chemically breaks down a compound. Now, today's experiment is going to be simple, quick, but I make no apologies because it demonstrates a fundamentally important chemical reaction. In this experiment, we're going to look at the decomposition reaction where sodium hydrogen carbonate breaks down into sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide, and water upon heating. So this is an example of thermal decomposition. This reaction is commonly seen when baking soda is used in baking, as it helps leaven baked goods by releasing carbon dioxide. Before we start the experiment, I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you for supporting my channel. It means a lot to me. If you're viewing my videos but haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything and it helps support my channel and keeps me making more and more because I have many more videos planned. Also, check out my Patreon page where I post exclusive experiment videos that aren't seen on my YouTube channel. I also post all the recipe and video notes to all my video experiments so that you can follow in your own home and do the experiments yourselves. And also read up my background notes on exactly what's happening and the scientific principles I'm demonstrating in my videos. With that, let's start experimenting. So for today's experiment, all we need is a burner, one test tube, sodium hydrogen carbonate. We need a wooden splint, and we need cobalt chloride test paper. Cobalt chloride test paper tests for the presence of water. And so if this turns pink, it indicates water is present. And that's what we're trying to determine from this decomposition reaction. So I'm just going to fill or add some sodium hydrogen carbonate to a test tube. About a third of sodium hydrogen carbonate will be sufficient. And what I'm aiming for is to test for the presence of carbon dioxide. And to do that, you have a small flame. So I'm going to set my wooden splint to the burner so I can get a flame. And then I'm going to put that into the test tube, and the flame should extinguish if carbon dioxide is present. So that's one test to confirm the decomposition reaction of sodium hydrogen carbonate. And the other one, as I mentioned, was using the cobalt chloride test paper to test for the presence of water. So let's turn on my flame. You don't need a vigorous flame, just a small flame is sufficient. And then I'm going to heat the sodium hydrogen carbonate in the flame. And I'm just going to move the test tube in and out of the flame. I don't want to leave it in the flame. I don't want to heat it vigorously. And then what we're trying to wait for is the decomposition and the formation of water, which will condense around the surface of the test tube. And then I will test for the presence of carbon dioxide with a lighted splint. So already water is beginning to form at the top of the test tube, which is a good sign that the sodium hydrogen carbonate is breaking down. So what I can do is I can test the condensation to see whether it is water. And I'm just gonna, and it's turned pink. And because that has turned pink, that indicates the presence of water. What happens with the cobalt chloride is that it's a crystalline structure, and the structure changes to accommodate the water molecules. And with that comes this color change. So we've confirmed the presence of water. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to test for the presence of carbon dioxide. So I'm going to light my splint and put it into the test tube and see what happens. And already, immediately, you see, look at this. The flame is extinguished. So my reaction has worked. Let me try it. I can try it again and show you. So whenever there's a presence of carbon dioxide would not burn. The flame extinguishes. And I can take it out of the tube and it relights. I can put it back in the test tube and it's extinguished. So I can completely extinguish it. There we go. Oh, and it's relit. So let me completely extinguish it. There we go. So the reaction was successful, and this was a very easy, very simple demonstration of a thermal decomposition reaction. Okay, like I said, that was a very simple experiment, but it was fundamentally an important experiment to demonstrate an important chemical reaction. There are many examples in nature, in biology, where decomposition reactions occur. For example, bacterial decomposition in nature is essential to the breaking down of dead organic matter, and it helps recycle nutrients and maintain ecosystem balance. Also, another example of decomposition reactions is in digestion. In human digestion, complex food molecules undergo enzymatic decomposition. For example, proteins are broken down into amino acids by enzymes such as pepsin and trypsin. And we're actually going to do some experiments on the digestive system and look more closely on enzymatic activity on food. But that's in a future episode. Also, there are decomposition reactions occurring in industry. For example, the decomposition of ammonium nitrate in explosives. Ammonium nitrate decomposes explosively when subjected to heat or shock, breaking down into nitrogen gas, water, and oxygen. And this reaction is used in explosives such as TNT. Another form or another example of a decomposition reaction in industry is electrolysis, and the electrolysis of water. And this is used to produce hydrogen gas, which is an important fuel and feedstock for chemicals. The decomposition is carried out by passing an electric current through water. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please subscribe to my channel. It's free of charge, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps support me making more and more videos. Please hit the like and share button and check out my Patreon page for exclusive videos which are not seen on my YouTube channel. I also post all the recipes and background notes to my video experiments. So please check out my Patreon page. You can also email me at my address below. Send me your questions, comments, send me your photos and videos of you performing your experiments at home. I love to share. Please check out the link in my description of all my resources that I use for conducting home lab experiments that you can check out and you yourself can buy the chemicals and equipment that you need to do all the experiments at home. Until next time, keep on experimenting. Goodbye, everybody.